Alright everybody, welcome back to Be Mother Reviews. Today we've got the legendary scale figure from Sideshow Collectibles. This is of course the Master Jedi Yoda. Now, as I was getting ready for this unboxing, I thought I'm going to read up on Yoda, learn all about his origin and backstory, and as I was doing that, I realized there's really not a lot there. His origin is very mysterious. There's not a lot known about him. We don't even know what type of alien Yoda really is. But what we do know about Yoda, he is one of the most respected Jedi ever. He's been around a long time, over 900 years old, I think. So he's seen it all. He's seen the rise and fall of the Galactic Republic and the Galactic Empire. So he's definitely one of the key characters in the Star Wars mythos. Now, he might be best known for training other Jedi. He trained Mace Windu, Count Dooku, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and maybe his most famous student, Luke Skywalker, of course. I'll admit, I was never a big fan of Yoda from the original trilogy. I thought he looked like a cheap puppet, and he sounded like Grover from Sesame Street. I could not get past that. He is voiced by the same actor, of course, so good reason for that. But it wasn't until the prequel trilogy came out that I really became a fan of the character, because in those movies, and I know those movies aren't the best, but Yoda was a total badass. Now, I recently reviewed XM Studios' Darth Maul, and I think I said, you know, Darth Maul was the coolest thing to come out of those prequel movies. If he was number one, then Yoda's 1A, and only by a hair, because Yoda, as I mentioned, total badass. We finally got to see his fighting skills. He was jumping around, flipping around with the lightsaber. Totally awesome. So Yoda kicked ass in those movies. This statue, though, definitely based on the original trilogy. It's almost a replication of that very first scene where we see Yoda, and Luke searching for him on Dagobah, and he kind of pops out of nowhere on the tree behind him. So this reminds me a lot of that scene. Love the base, the swampy base of Dagobah, as I mentioned. Very nice water effect here. Actually quite a nicely detailed base as well, with the logs, the mud. You got leaves stuck in the mud. You got vines climbing up around the logs. So really nice base here. But Yoda himself really stands out. He's excellent. Love the fabric that they used. Very nice, thick, high quality feeling fabric. So it looks really good. Yoda himself, lots of nice texturing detail on his face, on his hands. You got the wispy hair. Sort of a real hair on his head there. Very cool. If there's one thing I would change about this piece, would be the eyes. These are painted eyes, and they look pretty nice. Don't get me wrong, but if he had like really a nice realistic set of acrylic eyes, I think that could have elevated this piece to be a real classic. No, but as is, I think it looks fantastic. Accuracy wise, I'm not an expert in that, Star Wars accuracy, but I think it looks pretty good. There's no mistaking that this is Yoda, no doubt. Now, I mentioned off the top, it's a legendary scale figure, so that means he's about half scale. Now, that might be a problem for some collectors, because even though he's about the same size as your average premium format figure, he doesn't quite line up with them because he's not 1/4 scale. For me, though, I think this is a perfect size for Yoda. As I mentioned, about the size of a normal 1/4 scale statue, so he's easy to display, but you capture all that nice, lifelike detail of Yoda. He looks really good. Now, Sideshow does have a 1/2 scale Star Wars line. They've got Vader, they've got a Stormtrooper, I think they've got Obi-Wan. I don't know too many people that collect that line, so for me, this is kind of a standalone piece. And as I mentioned, I really like this size for Yoda. He's almost the size of a baby, like a human baby. So when you take him out of the box, you might want to swaddle him a little bit, but he's a very cute size. He even got sort of that bald head, the baby look going on there. But really a nice size. I think it's perfect for this character, actually. So this statue really turned out nice. It's actually heavier than I thought it was going to be. It's got some nice heft to it, so you get that quality feel. Really nice piece from Sideshow. I think they did an excellent job on this statue. Like I said, the only thing I would consider changing is the eyes to give it a little bit more of that lifelike look. But otherwise, Fantastic piece from Sideshow. Hopefully you enjoyed the unboxing. As I mentioned in every video, stay tuned to the channel. We got so much more coming. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you guys soon.